Got another short backpacking trip today. Today I'm hiking the Gabrielino Trail. It starts in Pasadena, Canada-Flintridge, and starts right next to a busy road. So I'm gonna walk a little bit and try to get away from that craziness. But it's here's a sign, Gabrielino Trail. It's between a 25 to 28 mile trail in the San Gabriel Mountains, kind of in the Los Angeles area. And you know, 25 to 28, depending on where you look. This trail was destroyed by the 2009 station fire and just opened, I think, last year. A bunch of volunteers worked really hard to reconstruct the trail, a lot of them from the mountain biking community. So we'll see what kind of condition this trail is in. But first thing we're doing is we're walking this road, and we're walking this road right next to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. So if I get another view of that, I'll flip and show that. So this is JPL. This is where all that space stuff happens. the spacecraft research and development for NASA happens. So a lot of really cool, important stuff going on right there. They have an open house every once in a while. I haven't been to that, but I'm heading up into these mountains right up here. Well, I was going to wait until we got to an actual dirt trail to talk about this trail a little bit, but looks like I'm going to be taking this paved road for a while now. So I'm excited to hike this trail for a couple reasons. The first is it's actually a sunny day. So this is the first sunny day since that first day of the Sespe Wilderness, and then second day of the Sespe Wilderness it rained that evening, and it's supposed to rain tomorrow afternoon. It's supposed to start again. Second, this is a really easily accessible trail. You don't have to wind up through the mountains to get to it because it's right in the foothills. And third, there's a lot of cool history in this area. So this area was really prominent in the what's known in the Los Angeles area as the Great Hiking Era, and that was the 1880s through the 1930s, where hiking in the mountains was the fashionable thing to do. So it was incredibly popular, and there were actually these mountain resorts that were built that were hike-in or pack mule only, all over this area. Some of them are ruins, and some of them are still standing. Some of them are privately owned. Some of them you can actually rent. So we should be seeing a whole bunch of that along this journey. So I'm doing this hike as a through trail because you can go in one end and come out the other. I've got a shuttle waiting for me tomorrow. So I'm going to be winding through the lower elevations of the San Gabriel Mountains, and right next to a lot of water sources, and should be seeing some history along the way. This is pretty amazing. This is the Arroyo Seco, which we should be following quite a bit today, but there's so much water in here. I feel like this is like a trickle most of the time. There is a lot of water going through here. As you can see, I'm kind of still on concrete and dirt, kind of a wider, almost road area. There's a little bench over there. There's a picnic table a little bit further back. Should be getting to single track stuff. This keeps narrowing very soon, and gonna have to watch out for mountain bikers because I've already seen quite a few coming down. But I mean, if they're the community that, you know, reconstructed this trail, then I am all for this being a mountain biking trail, as long as other people can use it too. So yeah, looks like we're getting to single track stuff now. Should be getting nice and shaded. It's nice and cool and sunny at the same time. So this should end up being a good hike today. Should be a lot more green too. You can already see there's a lot of grasses. This entire area. Mountain biker. Hello. Okay, take two. I just had a nice little chat with the mountain biker who just passed, and he said that a lot of these areas are pretty flooded. And if I was worried about getting my feet wet, which I just did the Sespe where I was waist deep, so I'm totally okay with it. And he says that Some of the parts are kind of flooded and washed out, but it should all be passable. So we'll see what we get. It's looking good so far. Trail sign, officially entering Angeles National Forest. Oh no, it's a water crossing. I don't know if I can do it. That's some really good flow. Look at that. But this is a very shallow water crossing, and I don't care about getting my feet wet. Yeah, that is a nice flow for how shallow this is. Okay. On the other side, and I did not melt. Let's see. Mid-shin. That's how high it went. But my shoes, my pants, my socks are all fairly quick drying, so. And I obviously don't care about hiking with wet shoes, socks, or pants. This is fun to see. We got the first flowers popping up. So all this rain has made it difficult for me to hike this winter, but it should make for a awesome wildflower season, which just started pretty much this week. The flowers started popping up. Some of the areas that are a little warmer have huge poppy fields already, so those bright orange poppy fields. But we got some nice purple flowers along the river here. Looks like there's some old structure over here. Old ruins maybe. But again, this area was really frequently utilized and partially built up during the late 1800s or late 1900s. So we should be seeing a lot of this. More stairs. More stairs to nowhere. Right next to the, oh, well now you can't see it because of all the vegetation, but right next to the water. This part of the trail is really nice. Nice flat, not like full of big rocks to break your ankles on, not full of flood debris. So some of these sections are pretty nice. This is pretty. So we kind of came up from the water. It's just down there. Came up from the water a little bit. Obviously it got a little drier, but still we're walking this beautiful canyonway. Got some trees every once in a while. Beautiful blue skies, maybe some clouds. There's sun over there, but very, very beautiful canyon with the rushing sound of the river. And this trail's been kind of hodgepodge in that it's been single track at times. Sometimes it's been wider path. There's been concrete. There's ruins everywhere. There's random picnic sites with picnic tables that actually look kind of nice as well. So, very interesting trail so far. And I'm not even that far into it. These are mainly what my water crossings have looked like so far. They've usually had some concrete. They look like some of them were dammed at one time, but they're not deep at all. The water is kind of swift, but they're not deep. But these are pretty frequent, and I've run into a couple mountain bikers who are very, very surprised to see me out here hiking through these water crossings, even though I don't think they're that bad. I guess a lot of people who hike these trails don't like to get their feet wet, but that's not me. I get my feet wet all the time. Currently on some switchbacks, gaining in elevation, and gorgeous, gorgeous views of these surrounding foothill mountains. And then, if you look down here, I just came from the water down there. So the trail ran literally right next to the water for quite a long time, and now it's climbing up in elevation, and I will see what's on the other side of this hill. And this is what was on the other side of the hill. It's a nice dam. I'm not sure what the purpose of this dam is in the middle of this canyonway here. I'm not sure it really affects the flow of water that much, but we're on a trail traversing this hillside. This trail has like every type of trail in one trail, because now I'm walking basically like a wash, like a creek bed, riverbed, and this is definitely the trail because here's all the tire marks. So came from all the way over there, and you know, you can see the tire marks. This is the correct way. You just kind of have to know which way you're going. But kind of fun. Kind of keeps you guessing at times. I need to look up from the trail more often. I was just watching the trail and making sure my feet were actually on the trail and not falling down this cliffside here. And I happened to look up and see this. It's a waterfall. Like, there aren't that many in Southern California, and they probably don't look like this most of the year. I'm actually pretty close to one of the popular waterfall hikes in the whole national forest here, and that's Switzer Falls, but beautiful one right there. That's amazing. Seems to be the week everything's starting. We have some nice blooms here and some fantastic views. That was the canyon we just came down. Been climbing a little bit, but got some little flower blooms, and if anyone knows what they are, I would love to know. They smell pretty nice. But continuing on, should be really close to Switzer Falls. Just finished a decent climb, got around the corner, and had this fantastic view, complete with these pretty yellow wildflowers. You can see the clouds starting to build. That's the way to the ocean, and tomorrow afternoon we are going to be hit with another storm. So these are just the pre-clouds, so oh, this is beautiful. But enjoy the sun while you can, because I don't think I'm getting any sun tomorrow. See, there's still some blue sky over there, but clouds are rolling in. This is so pretty. I just bumped into, ooh, that's not good. I just bumped into, let me skirt around this, another hiker who is doing a day hike to the falls, and he says it's down this way. So there's two ways to get to the falls. There's a trail that will take you to the upper part of the falls, and this one that will take you to the base of the falls. So this is kind of a steep way down here, but he said there's a lot of water in it and it's flowing nicely, so I might be regretting it on the way up, but I'm gonna go check it out. That's pretty beautiful. A lot of flow. Back on the trail, Gabrielino Trail, and you can actually see the waterfall from up here. Let me see if I can get a better view. Yeah, right down here. It's looking at it from the side, whereas I went straight up to it. But yeah, you can still see it from the trail. I mean, I'm glad I went down and I got the view from the base, but you can still see it from up here. Oh. Maybe got another view over here. Yeah. Got some stoves and some ruins now. It's been a while since I've seen any ruins. They kind of tapered off for a while. You can see a lot of structure used to be here. But Switzer was one of the first people to actually build a backcountry resort. So these might be remnants from that. Well, I've moved past the Switzer Falls and picnic area and moved down the trail, moved down the canyon, but you can see we've lost the sunlight today too. The clouds look pretty cool, but they've come in, so it's probably going to be dark and overcast the rest of this trip today and tomorrow. You can see there's some telephone poles here, and then over here is a road. That is Highway 2, the Angel's Crest Highway, that goes through these these mountains areas. So every once in a while I hear vroom, you know, going past. But gonna be near it for a while and then eventually cross it. But moving forward, just won't have any more sunlight for the day. Okay, crossing Redbox Gap with surrounded by clouds, basically. For my parents, if you're watching, when we went up to Mount Wilson, this is where we stopped on the way down to use the bathrooms. But I'm gonna go straight across and pick up this trail on the other side and oh wow, the road is closed beyond this point. This road gets closed in winter for tough conditions, and then sometimes things get washed out. I'm not sure why it's closed right now, but should be going downhill I think the rest of the day, which is awesome because I was going uphill majority of the day. So I think this is the road that leads you up to the Mount Wilson Observatory. And I'm going back down into more clouds. Look at this. I'm sure this is beautiful on sunny days. So this is interesting. The trail is passing by this tank here, and we have some cabins. And we have one cabin way back here. Let me back up. That's a total room. Like, look at that fireplace, that's amazing. Then we have these other cabins that are still standing. So, get into area that still has its cabins. And a couple of these guys over here. Trail junction. And at this trail junction, I'm actually going to go to the left because you can kind of see it nice and faded. There's a campground down here. It's Valley Forge Campground. So that's where I'm going to spend the night. And yeah, it should be about 10 miles to Chantry Flats tomorrow. Okay, this trail camp is cool. So there's lots of amenities. There's a pit toilet right there. The campsites have picnic tables. It's right next to the water. Actually, I had to cross the water to get here. And in keeping with the theme of, you know, the old hiking cabins, there's a whole bunch of ruins right here on the campground. You can see some stonework there. From the trail, I saw more foundations. But nice backcountry campground. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So that's it for today. I just have about 10 more miles to do tomorrow and finish up the trail at Chantry Flats after I get a fantastic night's sleep at a wonderful trail camp that I've got all to myself. So until tomorrow.